Right now at noon, controversy is growing over a police-involved shooting in North Miami. That is where an unarmed therapist was shot. New video showing us police with guns drawn before that shooting.
And the shooting is sparking outrage. Protesters showing up at the North Miami Police Department demanding answers. And we have live team coverage this midday. Local 10 News reporter Laren Livingston is in North Miami with the very latest.
And Local 10 News reporter Todd Tongan also in North Miami to tell us about the protests. Let's begin here at noon with Laren.
That's right. This morning I was able to stop both the city manager and the city attorney here in North Miami. They were walking into police HQ this morning for a meeting with police and other city officials about this shooting. Now, of course, I tried to get some questions answered, but unfortunately they were telling me that those answers, at least for now, would have to wait.
The nation, the world, has now seen Charles Kinsey lying in the street, both hands raised. Moments later, he's shot by North Miami police, all while reportedly trying to help a man with autism.
They would be much better off saying sorry to my client.
Absolutely.
And trying to acknowledge the fact that something went terribly wrong.
Kinsey's attorney tells CNN there's no justification for this shooting, appearing with Kinsey's boss.
He's received extensive crisis intervention training. Unfortunately, our police department doesn't seem to have received that same training.
More video has now surfaced, recorded just yards from where Kinsey was shot, showing two officers, guns drawn, one with a rifle. The woman who recorded it described seeing those officers, their weapons, as they responded to a man seen running by with a revolver, which turned out to be a toy truck. The 30-year-old Hispanic officer, now on leave, has been on the force for 4 years. He released a statement saying, "I took this job to save lives and to help people. I did what I had to do in a split second to accomplish that, and hate to hear others paint me as something I'm not." The Police Benevolent Association says the officer fired to keep Kinsey safe. Kinsey's boss dismisses that claim and calls Kinsey the hero.
The PBA is now trying to say they intended to shoot my client, and they accidentally shot my employee. I mean, to me, that's just outrageous. Mr. Kinsey saved the life of that disabled individual.
And back live here in North Miami, we're still waiting to see if this officer's name will be released. That could come as soon as this afternoon during a news conference that the city and police are supposed to host around 2 o'clock this afternoon. And sources tell Local 10 there was a concern about releasing that officer's name because there were threats being made against his life. And we're also working to confirm if any other officers have been placed on leave as a result of this shooting. That's information we hope to bring you as soon as we have it. And a Department of Justice representative, we're told, is supposed to meet with city leaders as early as this afternoon. Not so much about the investigative side of this. That's being handled by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the State Attorney's Office. But the Department of Justice representative is supposed to talk about the community relations side of handling this. On a side note, there is an exhibit right next door to the police headquarters here inside the Museum of Contemporary Art on police brutality. For now, reporting live in North Miami, Laren Livingston, Local 10 News.
All right, Laren, thanks so much. Let's head over to Local 10 News reporter Todd Tongan, also in North Miami.
Todd is the very latest on the protests over this controversial shooting. What's happening, Todd?
Erica and Constance, the community relations side of this shooting, certainly a nightmare for North Miami police. It is quiet here now, but that was not the case yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, when they had that press conference, the chief had the press conference, just a handful of protesters showed up. But then, throughout the early evening and into the night, more and more protesters began to arrive. They were chanting about excessive force. They were chanting about racism, even though we do not know the race of the police officer that shot Mr. Kinsey. They get more and more gathered throughout the evening as well. And then at one point, they actually stormed inside the North Miami Police lobby, demanding answers, wanting to talk to a commander there. The commander did come out and tell them, he finally got him out of the lobby and said that they do not have a permit to protest, but was going to allow it as long as those protesters came back outside. Then at one point, they went over to 125th Street, along the street there, a very busy street here in North Miami, and continued to protest into the night. We hear that this evening The same group of protesters are expected to gather at about 5:30 this evening at the 8300 block of Biscayne Boulevard. Not sure at this point just how many protesters will participate in that rally. As Laren mentioned, around 2 o'clock we are expected to hear the name of that officer and also get his personnel jacket and also get a chance to speak to a representative from the Department of Justice. For now, in North Miami, Todd Tongan, Local 10 News.